Do you know that as a TTC mom, you can make your own yogurt at home, carefully selecting your starter to boost your fertility? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make your own yogurt at home using a starter that contains high protein so as to suit your fertility journey. Guys, these starters were carefully selected and I decided to go for high protein starter in order to make sure that everything will come out nice, well and healthy. This is Mich and Kay yogurt, which contains high protein and low fat content and also contains very low calories. So first thing to check while selecting your starter is the nutritional facts, and this other yogurt right here did not write any nutritional fact, but it contains DVS culture, while the first one wrote a lot of nutritional facts and contains live cultures as well. So before you start making your yogurt, you want to sterilize everything that you're going to use. And by sterilizing, I use hot water to rinse everything that I will be using for my yogurt production. So because I'm testing two starters, I'll be making this yogurt together. Then during the incubation, while adding the probiotic yogurt into it, and before the incubation, I would divide the yogurt or the milk into two before I add my starter. That is the inoculation process. So guys, I also have my sieve, I have my fork for whisking. If you have a whisk, it will do the job better. Then I have my milk. For this recipe I'm using Lactorich milk, but any full fat or whole milk will make your yogurt conveniently for you. So for your milk selection, you want to select a milk that has full fat or is whole milk. Okay, so you should choose a whole milk or a full fat milk. Okay, and it will make your yogurt comfortably for you. So guys, I'm still sterilizing all my equipment, so you don't want to skip this. So once you're done sterilizing, you can now start making your yogurt proper. So for starters, I am going to get my scale. Yogurt is one thing that you measure everything that you are using. You need accurate measurements. So for this recipe, I'll be using 250 grams of milk. So you can see it right here, 250 grams of milk. And then for this 250 grams of milk, I'll be using 1000 grams of water. That is, for this 250 grams of milk, I'm making 1 liter of yogurt. That is why I am using 1000 grams of water. So 1000 grams of water is equal to 1 liter. Okay, so just know that 1 liter, 250 grams of milk of this recipe produces 1 liter of yogurt. Okay, so I'm going to measure my water. So you don't have to use tap water, you have to use a sterilized water. And I know that sachet water is sterilized, so that's why I'm using sachet water. So for your water, you don't just measure the water directly, 1000 grams. No, you are going to measure it in two batches. The first one, which will be your water one, is going to be room temperature water and it's going to be 500 grams. While the second one, which is also sachet water, but I boiled it, okay, it's going to be boiling, like boiling point. So that one will be your water two, and you're going to also measure 500 grams. So I'm going to measure 500 grams, and you have to be very precise and accurate with your measurements while working with yogurt, because it can be very funny. Any small thing that you alter can, spoil the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to like scoop out some water from this until I get exactly 500 grams. So you can see me scooping out some water. You have to be very, 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 very precise in making yogurt. So you can see me doing this, adding few drops until I got exactly 500 grams. So I would set this aside.
while I already had my hot water boiling at this point. Now the next process is the mixing. Okay, so I'm going to mix in my milk into this water. Okay, so the milk I measured, I am going to dilute it into this water. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. That is the next step while our boiling water is on heat and boiling. Okay, so you have to be very careful while doing this because you don't want to waste your milk, have it littered all around. So you have to be very careful. And if you have a bigger bowl, please feel free to use. This is what I had free at the moment. Every other thing was in use. So I had to manage this at the moment. So if you have a bigger bowl, use a bigger bowl. And if you have an egg grease, use an egg grease. But by all means, sterilize every equipment that you are using. That is very, very important. Okay, because a little alteration, a little jam can actually spoil your yogurt and make it not ferment. And so this is it. Okay, so you are going to just do this until you've exhausted all your milk. Okay, so you can see me dissolving all my milk. So at this point I have exhausted all my milk. And after you've dissolved this, and note that I was doing this in batch, and that is because if you just put everything inside, it's going to be very difficult to mix, and before you know it, it's going to be very lumpy. So because I don't want that, I had to do it in batch. So you can also get this as a tip. So guys, if you are new to this channel, please like, subscribe and share. And also remember to drop a comment if there is any procedure that you are confused about, or if there is any question that you want to ask. And for this recipe, yes, you can double it. Okay, so you can, if you want to do like 50 grams, sorry, 500 grams of milk, just know that you're going to be getting 2 liters of yogurt. And also, if you're asking if this is a drinking yogurt, no, it is not. It is a super thick yogurt, which you can also, strain and make a Greek yogurt out of. Okay, so it is very, very good for your parfait. So it is a Greek yogurt recipe. So once this is done and you strain it, you can get a Greek yogurt out of it. And if you also don't want to strain it, you can also use it that way, and it will be very, very nice. So right about now, my hot water is ready, and I am just going to measure 500 grams like I did with the first one, making it a total of what, 1000 grams, which is equal to 1 liter. So that is how to make 250 grams of yogurt using this recipe. Sorry, 250 grams of milk, which will get you 1 liter of yogurt using this recipe. Okay, so you can see I'm very, very precise with my measurements. Okay, measurement is key in yogurt making. Yogurt can be very, very practical. Honestly, it looks like rocket science, but if you understand the cons and do's and don'ts, and you're going to like always get a good batch of yogurt. And also pay attention to your starters. Now the starters that I'm using for this recipe were carefully selected. And also you can see what I'm doing in this video. I'm trying to use the hot water to dissolve the lumps that I had from my milk, and this trick works. Okay, some people just take out the lumps and then they dump it. No, not for me, nothing will waste though. So for me, I would definitely dissolve the lump using the hot water. Now at this point, you have like a warm milk. Rather, you're going to have a hot milk at this point. You're going to have a hot milk. So you don't want to put your starter into a hot milk. So it would definitely kill the good bacteria, the probiotics in your starter. So you don't want that. You have to cover this up and leave it to cool. Okay, you leave it to cool until when you drop it at the back of your palm, you can tolerate it. So you just want a lukewarm milk. So you can use the back of the palm test, or you can dip in your finger and count to 10. And if you can tolerate the heat, then you are good to go. Okay, So right about now, I have turned the milk and I am going to cover this up and leave it to cool down until I can tolerate the heat when I do the tests. Okay. So I'm just going to cover this up and I'm going to leave it. Okay. I'm just going to leave it to sit here and lose some heat. And when the temperature is right, I would be right back. Okay. So while I clear up my space, okay, and wash up some washables. So at this point, I think that I the temperature is okay. So we are back to continue the process of the yogurt making. Okay. And I have also washed the plates that I used earlier because I'll be incubating this in two batches because I'm using two different starters which I have carefully selected. And at the end of this like say experiment, I would be telling you the best starter to use out of these two starters. Okay. And this is based on my personal experience. Okay. I'm not saying this is for sure. Okay. But for my own personal experience, I'll be telling you from making this yogurt, the batch of starter or the starter I think was best. And already from the nutritional value, I've already told you that Mich and Kay is very, very good for you because the calories is actually very low. It was lower than every other starter that I saw in the supermarket, and that is why I chose it. And then Habib is one starter I've been using for edges, and it has never failed me. But I took my time to go through it, and I didn't see any nutritional content in it. So that is why I'm comparing the two today. And both starters are sweetened. Some people has said that if you use unsweetened starter is best. If you don't use sweetened starters, it will not form. That's a lie. It's a big lie because you can see that from this experiment, I'm using sweetened starters and both of them formed the yogurt. And honestly, sincerely, the taste was better than when I was using unsweetened starters. That is very sincere. The taste was better. So if you're into yogurt production, I recommend that you use the starter, any of the starter. And if you are keen about your health, you can use this Mich and K starter because the calorie is significantly low compared to other ones I saw in the market. Okay, Mich and K has just 54 calories per serving, while others had 200 and something calories. So if you're on a weight loss journey or if you're just trying to live and eat healthy with low calorie, Meat and K is the best. So right about now, I'll be adding my starters, but note that you don't add your starter directly to your milk, especially if you are using a Greek yogurt. If it's a drinking yogurt, then you can add it because it's already light, okay? But for your Greek yogurt, you have to like scoop it out in a plate, add some milk, mix it until it's watery, and then you can now pour it into your milk. Okay. So for this meat and cake, I used just 2 spoons. Okay, just 2 spoons. I used just 2 spoons, and I used 2 spoons for half of this, which is 1 liter. Okay, so 2 spoons to 1 liter of yogurt. Sorry, half liter, that's 500 grams because I had to measure this equally. So I divided the batch of milk I made into two. Both of them gave 1 liter, but half of it is half liter. So 2 spoons of Mich and K yogurt for half liter. Okay, so this is it. This is about the measurement, and then I'm going to turn this. So I'm just going to turn this to make sure that it gets incorporated into the milk very well. So at this point, the inoculation has been done, and then I'm just going to like cover this up and then do the same for the other plate of milk, which is going to be my Habib starter. So significantly, the two starters were good, but personally, I would recommend Mich and Kay because it gave me a better result, which you're going to see at the end of this video. Okay, so guys, at this point, I want to add my Habib starter, and I had to wash the plate because we don't want a biased result. Okay, we don't want a biased result, so I had to wash the plate again, and then I started the process. You can see the plate is very neat, so there is no trace of Mich and K yogurt inside it. Okay, so for Habib, because it's kind of runny, I think Habib is not a Greek yogurt. Okay, so for Habib, I'm going to use 4 spoons. So you can see there is already bias in this experiment. So in favor of Habib, actually, in favor of Habib, but let's see what the result will be at the end of the day. So I added a little milk to dissolve, and then I now added it back into the yogurt, and at this point I have introduced my starter, and I'm going to mix this up. Okay, so guys, remember to like this video, drop your comments. If there are any questions that you would love to ask, feel free to ask. This recipe is very precise, and if you need the exact measurement, it is going to be on the description box. Okay, because I know that um navigating your way through this, going back to find what I said and when I said it is going to be difficult. So I'm going to drop the description, uh the exact measurement in the description box, so make sure you check that out. And also, you know that while making your yogurt, number one thing that you should look out for is the temperature. You want to retain this temperature until the yogurt is fully incubated and fermented. So if by any means your yogurt loses temperature, just know that you are on your way to failing already. So you want to trap in the heat that it has now. Like this particular temperature, it should try as much as possible to retain it. And that is why I am wrapping my yogurt with a cling film. Okay, this is completely optional, but I need to be extra careful because milk is expensive. It is expensive, and the starters are expensive too. So I can't go through all the stress only to end up with a failed result. So you can borrow this tip, but if not, you can skip it. It's not necessary, but I recommend. It's not compulsory. Let me use the word compulsory because necessity, it is necessary because you want to trap in as much heat as possible. So for necessity, it is necessary, but compulsory is not. Okay, so this is it, and I'm just going to note which is which. So for the top, the starter is Mich and Kay, and for the down, the starter is Habib. So the yogurt on top is Mich and Kay, and the yogurt below is Habib. So I'm just going to go ahead and incubate this now. And for incubating, I'm using my cooler. So this is just regular things that you have in your house, okay? So the aim is to put this in a very warm place. So I'm using my cooler and my blankets, okay? So you can see the cooler, and then I put my blanket, and then I used two backhoe bag. Guys, I cannot overemphasize the need to trap in as much heat as possible when you're making yogurt. So I'm just going to put this. And remember, your Mich and K is on top, and then the Habib is below. So I would say that this experiment actually favored Habib a lot because it is below and it's getting the whole heat. So it has better chance to do better, and I use 4 spoons of starter for it, so it has a lot of chances to do better. So for Greek yogurt, which is what we are making, or super thick yogurt, So you will leave this, you would incubate it for 15 solid hours. So this is 6:03 in the evening, and we are going to be checking it 15 hours later in the morning. So guys, another thing to note is that you have to drop this in a place it will not be disturbed. Once that cooler gets shaked and anything disturbs it, just know that your fermentation process has been altered. You have to start all over again, like you've wasted it. So for me, I put it in my cupboard where nobody would disturb. Okay, I just put it in my cupboard. So this is 15 hours later, and I'm just using the starters to, like tell us which is which. So Oga starter, they are standing in front, telling us this one is my own, oh, and this one is my own. So guys, the moment of truth is here and the end of our experiment. So this is it. And first, once you open that your cooler and you notice that the temperature of your blanket or whatever you wrapped it with is still warm, just take a deep breath, because you are on your way to glory. Like your yogurt will definitely form. It simply tells you that the temperature was retained. But if it's significantly cold, just leave it in the hands of God. If it form, fine. If it not form, fine. So this is for Habib, and you can see that there is still way in it. So it wasn't smooth. It wasn't as smooth as my Mich and Kay, but both of them formed. Okay, both of them formed. But for texture, I recommend Mich and Kay, because you can see from this video, Mich and Kay actually gave me a very smooth texture, while um thickness, Mich and K was actually thicker. It was actually thicker. Then now I'm tasting for the taste. Mm, yummy. Wow. So for the taste, both of them taste nice, but Mich and K was tastier. Mich and K was tastier. Then Habib was tangy. It slapped. It slapped. Honestly, it did slap. So Mich and K significantly gave me the best result for this experiment. So if you are new in this business and you're looking for a starter to use, I would recommend Mich and K. And while at that, use the sweetened. Nobody said you should not use sweetened. And if you are hearing don't use sweetened, then it's a lie, because you followed me right from the beginning till this end, and you can see that I used sweetened, and it gave me the result I wanted. And sincerely, the taste was nice. Like it was tasting like Mich and K significantly. Honestly, it did tasted like Mich and K. So I would recommend Mich and K. And because I had lots of whey in my Habib starter yogurt, I had to sieve. So I had to sieve. So you're going to just put this in your net, your double net sieve or your cheesecloth, and then you're going to allow this to drain the whey. It will now drain the whey for let's say 5 hours is okay, but you can see, you can see this is already the way, this is some of the way that it has drained out. So you're just going to leave this in your refrigerator to drain the way for 5 hours, and then that will be that about the Greek yogurt. Okay, but the Mich and K was thick, so I didn't have to sieve it at all. So I had to sieve this because it was a kind of, it was watery, so it had whey in it. So that is why I had to sieve this. But for the Mich and K, the consistency was nice, so I didn't have to sieve it at all. So for the Mich and K, I'm just going to turn this now. Oh God, I really enjoyed this yogurt. You can see how thick this is. It was very thick, significantly thick. The consistency was nice. So I'm just going to whisk this up, okay? So I'm just going to turn this and I'm going to refrigerate it. And mind you that when you refrigerate your yogurt, it tends to get thicker. So that is it about it. And I hope you enjoyed this little experiment with me. And you can mass produce using this process. And if you use powdered starter, it's actually fine. And yes, if you're asking the name of the milk I used, which I have not mentioned, is actually Lactorich milk. So if you watch this video to this point, you got yourself a bonus information. Although I'm going to be dropping the name in the description box, but this is actually for you who watched this video to this point. So I use Lactorich milk. So you can see how creamy this yogurt is. It was quite creamy. I love the texture, I love the taste, and actually I did not sweeten this one. This Mich and Kay, I did not sweeten it again. I ate it like this until it finished. But for the one with the Habib, because it had this tangy taste, I had to sweeten it, and I sweetened it with my date syrup. So right about now, we are almost getting to the end of this experiment. So you can see how thick, how creamy this yogurt is. And it is quite light now because I have not refrigerated it. It's still warm. It's still warm from the incubation. So I will refrigerate this and the texture will be very, very thick. So this is it. So this is it. Very creamy, very nice, super thick. So this is what it looked like. And then I'm just going to pop this up into my refrigerator right now and see you later when I am done with the other one that I'm sieving. When the whey has completely sieved out, I will see you later in like 5 hours, like I mentioned. So, guys, let's refrigerate. Okay, so see you guys in the next 5 hours. Remember to drop your comments, guys. Drop your comments. So 5 hours later, this is my yogurt. Actually, this is more than 5 hours. It's more than 5 hours because I stepped out and I didn't know I would be long. So I came back very late. So 5 hours is enough. But this stayed for more than 5 hours, and you can see it really produced a lot of whey. It really really produced a lot of whey. And also, if you're asking if this whey is useful, yes it is. You can incorporate it to your juices, you can incorporate it to your smoothies. It's quite proteinous. It's quite proteinous. It's low in calorie, so you can also put it in your, you know, juice extracts. You can use it for your smoothies, so you can use it for any recipe that calls for whey. You can use it to make your protein shakes, and it is very very nutritious, guys. So that is that about that. And then I'm just going to mix this up so you can see this is what a Greek yogurt should look like, very thick. So that is the essence of sieving your Greek yogurt. So it has to be very very thick, just like this. So you can see, and because of this has been refrigerated, so it helps in the thickness. So that is it. And I'm just going to sweeten this up. Like I said, the Habib yogurt made a tangy Greek yogurt. So that is why I want to sweeten this, and I'll just sweeten this with 1 spoon of date paste, and I would lighten this date paste up with some whey. Okay, so I use the whey to dissolve it because I don't want to just get in the lump into the yogurt. No. So guys, if you want to learn how to make this date paste, the video is on my YouTube channel. So you can just get the link in the description. I'll also drop the link in the description. And not just this date paste, I have videos on date syrup, date powder, and either of them can work to sweeten your yogurt, your tiger nut, your soy milk, whatever it is. You can sweeten it using your date paste, date syrup, or date powder. So you can see that the color of the yogurt actually changed, but that's fine. The main thing is that we are eating healthy, and that is what matters. So, guys, this is it. If you have any question, do well to drop it in the comment section and I would answer it. And if there is any recipe you would want us to try out for you, then feel free to also drop it in the comment section and we would do it for you. This channel is about eating healthy, is about living healthy, it is about helping the TTC moms, and is about giving you diets that you can, navigate your way through. And it is also about showing you recipes that you can make by yourself and you are sure of the nutrition. So, guys,